Thank you for taking the time to join us at this important juncture for ICIMOD and Survey Hindu Kush Himalaya. I'm pleased to welcome you to the public launch of our regional land cover monitoring system for the Hindu Kush Himalaya region. The RLCMS is an operational service that provides annual land cover mapping and change analysis services for the HKH region. I'm Utsav Maden, Knowledge Management and Communication Officer at ICIMOD. I'll be your host and moderator for the event. Before we proceed any further, please allow me to share the house rules for this event. My colleagues Rajbhandari and Rajesh Shrestha are producing this event. We'll make available a recording of the event to all registered attendees. Today at our launch event, we're joined by an eminent panel of speakers from ICIMOD, NASA, USAID, the University of San Francisco, the Forest Department in Bangladesh, Nepal's Forest Research and Training Center, and the Asian Disaster Preparedness Centers. All of our speakers today have made significant contributions to the development of the RLCMS for the HKH region, developed under ICIMOD SERVIR-HKH Kush Himalaya initiative. Distinguished guests, partners, alumni, friends, and my dear ICIMOD colleagues, please allow me to introduce the agenda for today. We'll start the event with welcome and opening remarks by Birendra Bajracharya, Chief of Party of the SERVIR-HKH initiative at ICIMOD. Thereafter, we'll hear from Daniel Irwin, Survey Global Program Manager with NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center, and Notman, Senior Climate and Land Use Officer with USAID. Thereafter, we've got David Shah, Associate Professor with the University of San Francisco and Science and Data Co-Lead with Surveyor-Mekong. He'll provide the background and overview of the RLCMS. We'll follow through with a presentation on the RLCMS approach, the methodology and results by Kabir Uddin, GIS and Remote Sensing Specialist at ICIMOD. Thereafter, we'll have a formal launch of the RLCMS. Our Director of Strategic Cooperation at ICIMOD, Basanta Shrestha, will launch the RLCMS and provide his brief remarks. Then we have Sajana, Maharjan, Remote Sensing and Geospatial Analyst at ICIMOD, who will provide a short demonstration of the web-based RLCMS and its data visualization and download facilities. We'll then hear from our partners on the RLCMS who have made co-development of the RLCMS possible. Zaheer Iqbal, Deputy Conservator of Forest with the Forest Department in Government of Bangladesh. Dhirendra Kumar Pradhan, Deputy Director General, Forest Research and Training Center, Government of Nepal. Pradhan Tawasi Raphorn, Director, Geospatial Information Department, Asian Disaster Preparedness Center. He is also the Chief of Party for Surveyor-Mekong, hosted by Asian Disaster Preparedness Center. We'll conclude the public launch with a Q&A session and a vote of thanks from Mir A, Team Leader with Geospatial Solutions, and Science and Data Lead with SERVIR-HKH at ICIMOD. I request all speakers to always keep their microphones and cameras off and only turn them on when I call upon them. May I now invite Birendra Bajracharya, Chief of Party, SERVIR-HKH Initiative at ICIMOD, to deliver his welcome and opening remarks. Over to you, Birendra.
I'm Birendra Bajracharya, Chief of Party of SERVIR-HKH, and I'm very happy to be here with all of you. Today is a very important day for the community. And today we are launching the RLCMS. You can say that's it. NASA started the new era of automation last 5 years. Again, the free access to data, Landsat archive has promoted significant growth. And since the beginning of Earth observation, land cover mapping among applications worldwide. At the same time, since about last 5-6 years, the emerging cloud-based technologies like Google Earth Engine, which combines gigabyte catalog of satellite imagery and geospatial datasets with planetary scale has changed paradigm way access to satellite data. And to benefit from these emerging and innovative approaches, SERVIR-HKH work together with Survey and with network partners development of this regional land cover monitoring system. For you who are new to SERVIR, SERVIR is a joint initiative of NASA and leading organizations in Asia and America, and it works in partnership with countries in these regions to address many challenges related to climate change, food security, water resources, land cover, land use, ecosystems, air quality, and so on, and mainly promoting the applications of automation. Today, we are very happy to present you the RLCMS for STS region, which produces the land cover data on annual basis, and also the whole region in a very comprehensive way. And this is one of the very big achievement that Servir is proud of. I welcome you all to this event. And but again, just to mention you that this land cover mapping has always been a very challenging task, both technologically as well as uh, from the application point of view, because the different applications, different users look into land cover in their own context, and it is very difficult really to come up with the product which can match everybody's expectations and need. However, we have tried to address this regional need with this regional land cover mapping. At the same time, we are also targeting the national land cover mapping in Bangladesh, Nepal, Myanmar, and Afghanistan, addressing specific needs of those countries. And we have partnered with the national agencies in those countries to come up with the national land cover systems, which will be, again, kind of complementary to the regional land cover system. With this, I would like to, again, welcome you to this land cover launching event, which will take you to the visualization system that we are launching today, as well as to the data that will be available for free download. With this, thank you all.
Thank you, Birendra, for your opening and welcome remarks. We had a slight glitch with technology earlier. There was a problem with the audio. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. Now, may I call upon Dan Irwin, Servir Global Program Manager, NASA Marshall Space Flight Center, for his remarks.
It's a real honor and privilege to be here today at the launch of the Regional Land Cover Monitoring System for SERVIR-HKH. Because protecting our home planet and understanding Earth's landscape is an integral part of NASA's mission. In fact, it's been part of our mission for as long as the agency's existed. When NASA was created in 1958, one of our core goals was to study the Earth from space and use that information for societal benefit. In 1972, we launched Landsat-1, with the concept of understanding our planet's complexities at a scale that was previously unimaginable. And today, and it's still September 27 here in the US, we celebrate with the launch of Landsat 9, now the 9th satellite in the Landsat program, and continuing the program's role of monitoring and managing our planet's resources like crops, water, and forests. For almost 50 years now, our satellites have been creating a vast library of knowledge about natural and human systems that shape the land beneath our feet. Millions of images, an astounding volume of data about every part of Earth's surface is all at our fingertips. And while this data is so critical, and believe me, it is, what's even more important is making it meaningful and actionable, especially under a changing climate. Ever since NASA and USAID joined together to create SERVIR in 2005, we've been working to strengthen the capacity to use this data in countries around the world. And this has only been possible working through SERVIR hubs like SERVIR Hindu Kush Himalaya at ICIMOD that builds connections to real people, as well as an applied sciences team that brings new and innovative science. SERVIR has become the bridge between NASA and everyday communities, and our partnerships with USAID and our hub networks has connected us to so many amazing people who know how to translate hard science into real-world tools for everyday people. To ensure that the vast archive of land cover data is used for good, that power must be directly in the hands of those who know the landscape in person and those who know the threats to the environment most intimately. We talk a lot about capacity building within SERVIR, and I believe that capacity building is really about recognizing the leadership and knowledge existing in every community and then sharing resources to help amplify that potential. And those using the regional land cover monitoring system are already the best people for the job of combating environmental challenges in South and Southeast Asia. Since its initial development as part of SERVIR Mekong, the regional land cover monitoring system has been constantly growing and evolving. And I'm so excited by what's being achieved and what will be achieved with it. Here at SERVIR Mekong and beyond, the service also offers great opportunities to support international initiatives like emissions reporting to the IPCC, as well as supporting programs like Silva Carbon and GFOI. Moreover, to me, it's personally inspiring to see the rewards of collaboration between our hubs, and the lessons we learn here will help us better support other SERVIR hubs around the world. The next few years are set to be momentous for land cover and land use change research. As I mentioned, the launch of Landsat 9 today was such a big deal, and the upcoming NASA Earth System Observatory is sure to open up exciting new possibilities for exploring, for understanding, for protecting the beautiful complexities of Earth's landscape. Today, as we enter a new chapter of Earth observations, I couldn't be happier that we're joined on this journey by amazing people like all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan, for your remarks and a brilliant insight over SERVIR and the RLCMS. May I now call upon Irwin Notman, Senior Climate and Land Use Officer with USAID, for his remarks. Over to you, Irwin.
Great, thank you. It is a real pleasure to participate in the SERVIR Hindu Kush Himalaya launch of the Regional Land Cover Monitoring System. It's fantastic to see this happening. The sustainable management of land and natural resources is a critical natural climate solution and is key to economic growth and human well-being, where large populations depend on forests and other land resources for their livelihoods. But it's very difficult to manage natural resources without information about current land use and how it is changing. So fortunately, greater availability of satellite data and computing power for complex analysis is rapidly expanding global knowledge of land use. But we know effective management requires the application of local knowledge of ecosystems and land use, and also requires that institutions connected to management have direct access to monitoring and analysis tools and can ensure that analysis can take into account locally important data. This is where the strength of the SERVIR partnership and the power of space to village comes in. The regional land cover monitoring system we will be hearing about today is a great example of the work that SERVIR does to help improve the use of data and information for land management, including providing technical assistance and capacity building for countries to use this information for their national systems. The regional land cover monitoring system depends on calibrated Landsat data, and just as Dan has been pointing out, it is really great to see this launch coming just hours after the launch of Landsat 9 today. And it will be exciting to see how the new information produced from Landsat 9 can be used in this system. The RLCMS is also a great example of how collaboration between the SERVIR, Mekong, and Hindu Kush Himalayas hubs have been working together to develop this system. I think it really highlights the way that SERVIR and the SERVIR network works. USAID is intently committed to working with countries around the world to address the critical challenge of climate change, and ensuring good land use management to reduce emissions and increase resilience is an important part of this effort. USAID works with national governments, subnational governments, and local communities on system-wide landscape sales solutions to address the root causes of deforestation and land degradation that are a major cause of greenhouse gas emissions. The climate crisis is a challenge that knows no borders. SERVIR's regional land cover monitoring system transcends national boundaries, and looking at the landscape scale for improved natural resource management that reduces land-based greenhouse gas emissions. I'm really pleased to have this opportunity to be here and make some opening remarks on behalf of USAID, and I really look forward to hearing more about the regional land covering monitor system today. Thanks so much.
Thank you again for your notes. In case people here don't know, who've been joining us don't know, Landsat 9 was launched yesterday. The data which RLCMS provides is also based on Landsat 9. Now may I call upon Dr. David Shah with the University of San Francisco to provide background and overview of the RLCMS. Over to you, David.
Oh, thank you. It's kind of hard to go behind Dan and Evan. They did a really nice job explaining at a high level the value and the specialness of the land cover monitoring system. But let me take a little step back and give people a little bit of a history lesson of how it came to be. As most folks know, or for those of you who don't know, SERVIR is a needs-driven program. And when SERVIR Mekong first got up and running, we looked to our sister hub in the Himalaya Hindu Kush, and we said, hey, well, here we're going to be doing a needs assessment around all these different countries to see what they actually, where are some gaps that we could actually fill. We want to share those needs with you to see if there's any overlap. And detailed information about land cover characterization came up over and over and over again in a variety of different settings, in a variety of different needs, with a variety of different impacts. And we sat down and we said, okay, well, let's sit down and identify which one we should actually pick, and just pick one specific application, one specific approach for doing land cover mapping. What we realized that whatever we created was going to be used by all the other folks for their needs that might not be specific to the development of a single application or a single map. And so we sat back and we said, well, wait a second here. Why don't we create a modular system that's driven off of some principles that were designed in the community? Let's define a land cover map that is mappable with data and definitions and standards that could be adjusted by individual managers and decision makers, where the impact's going to be driven. And as we started going through that process, what we recognized, what was once a theoretical framework, was a modular platform that we could implement in a way that can meet a whole wide variety of needs and could be customized by locals using their local expertise knowledge for specific on-the-ground applications. And so in order to do this, we recognized that we had to build a variety of partnerships between our hubs. So a really strong partnership happened between the HKH hub and the Mekong hub. We had to build partnerships within USAID in order for this to actually be able to operate in a wide variety of different applicable areas. We had to work within specific countries. We had to work across boundaries. We had to work across boundaries between hubs. So there was a lot of coordination and partnership occurring there. We had a partner with technologists. We were able to bring a strong partnership both with Google in terms of their Earth Engine platform to allow us to accelerate some of our thoughts and ideas here. We also built a partnership with Planet in order to gain some high resolution imagery for some of the verification and validation methods. And we also realized that in order to have large scale impact, we had to partner with a variety of other organizations that were based in the region that brought in their own expertise. World Food Program, FAO, a variety of private sector companies. And as all these partnerships came to bear and all of these approaches came to bear, one of the most important ones was NASA. We partnership. NASA was the core part of all this stuff, and we brought in a variety of NASA scientists and experts to help with the technology builds or analytic builds or algorithm builds. And as we started pulling all these pieces together, what we realized is that framework that we came out with our initial needs assessment actually manifested itself into a generalized platform that we were able to implement in a wide variety of areas, and with a lot of success. So the learnings from one implementation we're able to carry forward into the next implementation, and there's this co-learning approach that's been such an important part of this, the capacity building element that both Dan and Evan talked about. So me personally, being a little selfish here, I'm very excited to see this implementation launched. The speed by which the team has been able to pull this together and the impacts by which this effort is going to have is impressive, and just hats off and kudos to the Himalaya Hindu Kush Hub for all the hard work and dedication you've got pulling the parts together. And again, this is the first step because there's a whole variety of other iterations that will be coming down the pipe. And the way that the whole system is lined up, the co-learning will be able to improve the existing products that you're delivering today. So that's all I got. I can keep talking. I'm very excited about this.
Thank you, David, for providing insights on how the RLCMS came about. There's been a lot of partnerships and a lot of co-learning opportunities to bring about the RLCMS to the HKH region. Now, may I call upon Kabir Uddin, GIS and Remote Sensing Specialist at ICIMOD, to present our RLCMS approach, the methodology and results from the exercise. Over to you, Kabir.
Good morning, everyone. Good evening. So this is the some methodological idea I'll share how we work to develop the regional land cover monitoring system for the Hindu Kush Himalaya. So if you see the Hindu Kush Himalaya maps, we started from Myanmar to Afghanistan. This is the very vast area. This area also known as a freshwater tower for Asia. This area also serving for the local community livelihood option, ecosystem services, all other services are giving. And this is the area also, according to lots of research published, they are telling that it has a data gaps. What kind of data gaps? We can say that here is one of the data gaps are land cover data gaps. Although there are some global level, some study conducted, but those are the global level of study. Global level of study has a issue are there that these are not having a consistent for 1 year to another. We cannot do any comparison. Also, what if there is any comparison, like those are the very poor resolution. So 30-meter resolution, actually there is no consistent land cover data available until now. So this is actually our breakthrough. And working, developing this work, we could see that Dr. David Shah already mentioned how he's been started. So first of all, with the presence of our NASA to our national agency, a very high level of participants, we got, okay, what kind of information could be useful for Hindu Kush Himalaya, what kind of land cover. So that was the starting our meeting, if you see in the first photo. Then in the middle, you can see that there is very technical team in global land cover scientists. It was involved in this process. So including NASA to even our national agency, all the experts who are working in their forest department in land cover mapping. So together we started the co-development. Besides that also, when we are doing this regional land cover monitoring, also there is one focus to have a national land cover monitoring. So in this monitoring system, we work also how we can do good partnership, because this is the partnership, they help us to develop our regional land cover map very well, because they given our lots of information, validation process, all other. So after establishing that, we established very nice methodological framework. So that is the yesterday when there was the very good day for us. We had actually set 9 lands. In this process, just one emphasis I want to give is that we selected all partnered together. We selected Lancet image because it has a long historical archive. Even once this system develop, we are not going to be worried, because in future also lots of land cover data will be coming through either Lancet 8, Lancet 9. So we don't have any issues. Okay, we have used this type of this data, then if it fails, what will be our next option? So we had lots of good option. Besides that, you see that just few photo I shared here. You can see that we have used lots of experts, how they can give the land cover training samples. Why training sample? Because we use the Google Earth Engine machine learning algorithm. So in this algorithm, we need to have a very ground knowledge who can provide input on this machine learning process. Then also all the partners, while they are working their national land cover mapping, they also share those data for our national land cover mapping. This is the way we develop actually land cover. So I'm not going to actually say how we did in mountain area, how we did all the correction like cloud remover or terrain correction. So all other things I'm not going to do. But this was our very much approach. And after applying those methodological approach, so finally we could see the very nice maps from 2000 to 2018. But we are working further to like 2020, maybe within a few months, it will be also there. So this is the land cover map. This is the consistent land cover map. It has the same land cover legend, same method, same where we have developed the land cover map first time for the Hindu Kush Himalaya at the 30-meter resolution. So there is, if you see some statistics, there is actually in this area mostly grassland are dominating. Also, there is a large area having a bare area, and the third dominating area also forest area, which is contributing so much on a different form of ecosystem are there. So when we see the land cover, actually, you may interested. So is there is any changes actually? So there is actually lots of positive changes in this. Although there is some level of maybe, if I say forest, some forest may decline, but overall we can see some positive development. If you see these maps, so we highlighted some changes. What is the like positive chances like forest has gained? What is the less? This is one example I'm sharing with you, so I don't want to share more. But if you see this river bed, even if you see there is forest are there. So that is the positive development happening in Hindu Kush Himalaya. So forest area, even in the riverbed area, forest are changing. Besides that, if we come to any of the city, from the land cover, we can see also some kind of trends. Suppose around the Kathmandu, what happening? We can see some indication from our Landsat images. That is the Kathmandu Valley. You can see if we come to the close to the where our office are situated. So this is the Lalitpur. So there is some land cover changes. So this is the 2009. If you see 2009 this photo and that one exactly same angle same, but those are the area are same building are there. So this is kind of indication giving, and we could see even from the repeat photos, okay, there is something happening. So we have to have. So with this data, actually, we think the data can be very useful. So for that, our colleague actually will be giving more details. So this is data we develop the visualization. So without download, anybody can say how much area particular region, how much land cover area, forest, no any other. But we are not limited to, okay, you will not able to download this land cover. So we are actually allowing this data to further use, because this data we used to get lots of requests to data download option. So this data going to be allowed. So our honorable director strategic and cooperation he will be launching this data within maybe 2-3 minutes. And if you want, you may have lots of questions. I know how data has been generated, what was the accuracy. This land cover accuracy was the 81%. So around 7,000 sample points we have used. But if you want to get more detail, you can write to us. Also, you can follow this the books just a couple of months before it has been launched with another event. So all the details also we do have in this book. Also specific chapter, the regional land cover monitoring system for Hindu Kush Himalaya. So this is the quick update how we did this land cover mapping. With that, thank you so much.
Thank you, Kabir, for highlighting how we were able to bring consensus from multiple stakeholders towards adopting a co-development approach towards the realization of an RLCMS for the HKH region. May I now call upon our Director of Strategic Cooperation at ICIMOD, Basanta Shrestha, to launch the RLCMS and also provide his remarks. Over to you, Basanta ji.
Here we go. Okay, I have the pleasure to launch this. Good. Maybe it deserves a round of applause to all the partners. Thank you, Utsav, and thank you, colleagues, and many good friends here. Dan from NASA, Pete, Ivan from USAID, David Saah, Servir Mekong, Pradhan, and many other colleagues that I see online. And also, more importantly, our partners from ICIMOD regional member countries, those who have contributed in terms of national land cover, data generation, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, and Myanmar. At the outset, on behalf of ICIMOD, it is my absolute honor and privilege to launch the regional land cover monitoring system for the Hindu Kush Himalaya region. As David pointed out, this event marks a very, very special significance, perhaps, in terms of partnership, demonstrating a very unique partnership with our regional member countries and many international partners that David mentioned, to create this foundational kind of a data sets, and also more importantly, the operational kind of system that would allow multiple users to access this data and use. I believe that with the emerging data science and innovation that we see on the horizon, we are helping to foster data democratization. And in many ways, as Kabir pointed out, SK's region is a data scarce region, perhaps that we are changing that notion and to unlock some of the pressing challenges that we face, like climate change and others. As you know, the land cover is a foundational data set, and ICIMOD, with the history of using this land cover mapping going back to even ABSRR and other satellite sensors, together with regional member countries and together with many different partners in the past. But these many efforts have been fragmented at the national level and also the local level. For instance, that we have used this sort of land cover mapping, land cover change analysis in the context of agricultural and land use planning, forest cover monitoring, even to set up a reference level for RED Plus to support RMB, monitoring and verification process, drought monitoring, water resource management, and many others. As you know, and also some of the brief demonstration that Kabir has pointed out, and we will hear more from Sajana, perhaps the land cover change is an indicator of a human-environment interaction. And with this operational system, as I understand from the year 2000 to 2018, with the annual land cover data, provides a very, very unique opportunity to understand the human and environment interaction, and thereby to guide our policies and programs both at the regional and the national level. With the operational system, with a web-based kind of a platform, with the ability to access these data sets, combining with many other data sets, I truly believe that it will help government stakeholders, researchers, academic institutions, and more importantly also the young students and many other for informed decision making. Free access to data also provides enormous cost benefit by use and reuse of data by multiple users. I just recall some of the talk by our colleagues, our pioneer Barbara Rhine, used to tell about the economic benefits of the free access of the land side, and I think the economic benefits far outweighs in terms of its cost of selling that data and so forth. I also would like to take this opportunity to congratulate Dan and NASA for the Landsat 9 launch that happened just yesterday or few hours ago. I also recall Dan with Nancy and many other colleagues had the privilege being in California to witness the Landsat 8 launch. So I think this event also marks a very, very important event from the satellite data from the NASA as such. So once again, congratulations NASA, and our colleague Dan, and many other friends from NASA. As a knowledge organization for ICIMOD, availability and accessibility of data and information is a prime or paramount importance, to support this mission for mountains and people and contribute to sustainable mountain development. And our USAID colleagues have, mentioned about the number of applications on natural resource management, sustainable land management, many others. Further, the SKH Ministerial Forum, which endorsed the SKH call to action last year, with the 6 urgent actions, and one of the key actions is on information and knowledge. And I think this release of this today's regional land cover monitoring system is in true alignment with our SKH call to action to support and develop actionable knowledge on the ranges of issues such as climate change, water, energy and food security, biodiversity, and many other applications as such. It also supports our common goal in terms of providing open data access and providing a notion of data as a public good commodity so that we can use this sort of data for informed decision making and to support our development planning and so forth. I think as I also need to, express my gratitude and thanks to many partners in this effort to create this homogeneous or the harmonized land cover data at the regional level. And I think thanks goes to many of our partner organizations in our member countries, with Afghanistan Ministry of Agriculture, Irrigation and Livestock, Bangladesh Forest Department, and also with Nepal, with our host country, Nepal Forest Research and Training Center, Myanmar Forest Department, and many others. I also would like to express our deep appreciation and coming forward. I think this is also splendid in terms of 2 SERVIR nodes coming together, cooperating, SERVIR Mekong with the ADPC, we see David and Pradhan here. Also, many thanks goes to many other partners like Silver Carbon, Global Land Analysis, and many other partners, as David has mentioned. And also, I would just like to reiterate that thanks to again, the SERVIR program, USAID and NASA for continuing support. And we hope that we can continue to build the capacity of our regional member countries to enable to use this sort of data sets, to use this sort of information for their informed decision making and to support their development planning and so forth. And I think this would be a true spirit in terms of our SERVIR motto, as Dan says, linking space to village, bridging Earth observation and the geospatial science and technology to our development problems. Again, thank you very much for this opportunity, and I would like to, congratulate everyone here, and also hopefully, I think this data would be, one of the key foundational data sets at the regional level to be used by our member countries and many different stakeholders. Thank you once again. Back to you, Utsav.
Thank you, Basanta, for your remarks. This is indeed a very major achievement for a data deficit region like the HKH, which is also considered the third pole. This new data definitely does open up new avenues for research in the environment. May I now call upon Sajana Maharjan, Remote Sensing and Geospatial Analyst at ICIMOD, to walk us through the RLCMS and show us its download facilities as well as its data visualization. Over to you, Sajana.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to demo on what are the information that we can get with this application. As you can see in this screen, the interface of the application. In this application, we can visualize maps, graph, and statistics of land cover of SKH region from 2000 to 2018. We don't have data for 2012 as we did not get Landsat images for that particular year 2012. This application allows users to download land cover dataset of SKH region. In addition to that, we can get this information for different ecoregions and biodiversity hotspot of SKH region. It also allows users to draw area of interest and get statistics of that particular region. It also has features to see trend of different land cover of SKS as well as ecoregion and hotspot areas. Now let me show you how to do it. So by default, you can see the land cover of SKS region for 2012 in the map section. And in the chart section, you can also get statistics for each land cover, that is area in hectare. And if we click here in the chart section, we have also option to download JPG image for this graph. And also we have option to download CSV file. So if you want to download for other years, let's say from 2000 to 2018, we have also option for other years. Let me do it for 2010. Okay, now it is giving land cover for SK's region. And here are the statistics. For this also you can download data in CSV file and also JPG image you can download. If we want land cover information ecoregion wise, then we have also option for that in the parameter section. For that, just click on ecoregion button. Okay, we have a list of ecoregions of SK's region. So you can choose whichever you want your study area. So in this case, it is showing Eastern Himalayan Alpine Meadows land cover information in the map section, and here are the statistics for the ecoregion for 2010. Again, we can change year. Let me change for 2015. Okay, now it is giving land cover map for 2015 for that ecoregion, and here are the statistics. In a similar way, if we want to do for biodiversity hotspot areas, here are the list of hotspot areas of SKS. So in the map section, you can see the Himalaya hotspot areas land cover. And in the chart section, you can see the graph and also the statistics of different land cover for 2015. Again, here you can change other land cover, other years. Okay, I'm doing for 2013. Okay, now we are getting map for 2013 for that particular hotspot areas, and here are the graph for 2013. Besides this, if we want land cover information for any specific area, then we also have option to draw polygon. For that, just click on the draw polygon button. Okay. Once you draw polygon, then this small tool will appear in the map section. Then we just need to click on that tool. Then we can draw polygon. Okay, I'm drawing polygon. Once we finish this drawing polygon, then this compute button will appear. Then to compute land cover, then we just need to click on that compute button. Okay, it takes a while for calculating. So it depends also on the size of the polygon that we have drawn, and it is loading. Yeah. Now the statistics are here. So even for this polygon, we can change here depending on our interest. Okay. So we have also option to see the trend for SKS region. Let me do it. Just clicking on the show trend, then we have option to choose different land cover classes. Okay. So this is the graph for forest of Hindu Kush Himalayan region. You can see the trend from 2000 to 2018. Okay. Let me do it for another one. Built up. Okay. We can see the trend for built up of SKS region. We can also see the trend for ecoregions and hotspot areas as well. Okay. Now you can see the trend for built up for Eastern Himalaya Alpine Meadow ecoregion. In a similar way, we can do it for hotspot areas. Okay. So you can see the trend for built up area. We can also do it for other land cover classes. If we go to this layer section in the right side, we can see the legends for SKS, ecoregion, biodiversity, and also the land cover classes. We can turn it off and on to see for visualization. So in the about section, we can get short notes on regional land cover monitoring system. If you want more information like metadata, and if you want to download data, then we can just go to this useful links, go to this data and just click on this land cover of SKH region. Yeah. Once you click on there, then it will take you to regional database system, RDS system portal. Then you can get metadata of this data set. And for download, just click on this download button. For the new users, they have to sign up first. For me, I have done already, so I don't need to sign up here. So just need to fill up this form. Okay, here are the list of land cover dataset from 2000 to 2018. So you can download any data. This is how we download this data. So we have also prepared a user guide on this application. So if you want to view it, then just click on this RLCMS user guide. So this is the user guide for this application. If there is any confusion, if you want to know more about the application, then you can go through this user guide. This is all about this application. Thank you.
Thank you, Sajana, for providing us an extensive walkthrough of the web-based RLCMS. I'm sure that this will be very useful to people who are interested in using the application as well as downloading the datasets. The RLCMS generates spatially seamless and temporally consistent annual land cover maps for the entire HKH region using broad land use categories recommended by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. This is also suitable for regional level change monitoring as well as of carbon stocks and GHG emissions. Now, may I now call upon Mr. Zaheer Iqbal, Deputy Conservator of Forest Department, Government of Bangladesh, to deliver his remarks. Over to you, Mr. Iqbal.
Thank you very much, distinguished guests, dear participants, dear development partners, and organizers. I'm very happy to be a part of this inauguration of regional land cover classification system by ICIMOD, USAID, and other development partners. A very good morning to you all. I'm delighted to be with you and happy to say a few words from Bangladesh. I really appreciate and welcome the effort taken by ICIMOD, USAID, NASA, and other partners under the umbrella of SERVIR-Hindu Kush Himalaya region for developing this RLCMS. To me, this RLCMS is important because of two main reasons. Firstly, it has used an open source platform, that is Google Earth Engine. Secondly, the classification system is for the whole region. I believe this will create not only to prepare consistent land cover data, but also good quality land cover changes over the time. I'm happy to say that ICIMOD is assisting Bangladesh Forest Department for capacity strengthening on Google Earth Engine-based land cover classification. Though our effort and ICIMOD's assistance is being delayed by COVID-19 situation, even then we tried our best to follow the concept of this RLCMS and trying to prepare our land cover maps as suggested by ICIMOD experts. And we expect to complete this task by June next year. And for this assistance, for this partnership attitude, we are grateful to both ICIMOD and USAID for their continuous support. Without referring more, this is a significant milestone achievement for of developing HKH annual land cover data to support some regional level policy, working guidelines, developing collaborative activities to mitigate the effects of land cover conversion, which accelerate the climate change in impact and cascading effects of it. With these few words, I'd like to conclude my remarks, and I welcome you all, and I appreciate ICIMOD's, USAID, and all other development partners to work, and looking forward to work with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Iqbal, for your remarks on behalf of the Forest Department in Bangladesh. This is very encouraging indeed. I would like to now request Mr. Dhirendra Kumar Pradhan, Deputy Director General, Forest Research and Training Center, Government of Nepal, to deliver his remarks. Over to you, Mr. Pradhan.
Distinguished personalities from different organizations, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. It's my great pleasure to be here to participate in launching event of Regional Land Cover Monitoring System of the Hindu Kush Himalaya region for the year 2018. On behalf of Forest Research and Training Center of the Ministry of Forest and Environment, Government of Nepal, I'd like to express sincere thanks and appreciation to the SERVIR-Hindu Kush Himalayan at ICIMOD for hosting this event. I also like to congratulate SERVIR-Hindu Kush ICIMOD for successfully launching the Regional Land Cover Monitoring System and showcasing the web-based RLCMS. Land cover is a dynamic process. Monitoring and assessment of land cover and land use are important for understanding the land cover dynamics and making policies for sustainable management and strategic planning. Government of Nepal has been preparing land cover, especially forest cover map, since 1960s. Recently, we have published the forest cover map of Nepal as part of National Forest Assessment in 2015. Nepal is seeking consistent data and methodology to prepare a historical time series land cover map, especially required for national and international reporting, such as UNFCCC, RED, and Global Forest Resource Assessment. We have also completed a short project on developing land cover on point-based estimation in 2018 by interpretation of the reference points in a 2x2 grid of the entire country. We also observed the results of the Sorin Mekong in a policy workshop on land cover preparation in Thailand, which really motivated us to build a historical land cover map for Nepal and develop our own national land cover monitoring system. The involvement of Sorin Global, NASA, and other international experts in the RLCMS development process also attracted us to collaborate for the development of national land cover monitoring system for Nepal. We have worked closely with SERVIR-Hindu Kush at ICIMOD to develop national land cover monitoring system for Nepal. And it's my great pleasure to share that we have already prepared national land cover map for Nepal for 2000 to 2019. We are now in the process of getting official approval from the government of Nepal. The NLCMS will be highly useful for national and international reporting. For example, for measurement, reporting, and verification MRV process during the implementation of RED process, IPCC reporting, GFR reporting, and so on. The consistent time series data available from RLCMS and LCMS will help to understand the change in the different land cover types and conversion trends over the years and provide insight into the effectiveness and current and previous policies and management practices at regional and national level. Land cover monitoring system is a milestone for us and would contribute significantly to the data demands and data needs of the region. I believe that cooperation among us are important for harmonizing common understanding, sharing the knowledge and information on regional land cover monitoring system, and fostering collaboration among the Hindu Kush Himalayan region. Before I conclude, let me once again congratulate and thank the SERVIR-Hindu Kush at ICIMOD for successfully preparing and launching RLCMS for Hindu Kush Himalayan region. I thank you once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Pradhan, for your very encouraging remarks and seamlessly integrating the concept between RLCMS and NLCMS. Now, may I request Dr. Pradhan again for his remarks. Thank you, Pradhan. Over to you.
Thank you, Utsav. Thank you so much. It is my greatest honor to be invited to this event here. I can see from the participant list that there are a lot of familiar names to this event. I'm glad to see you all. So I'm here today not only because I want to congratulate ICIMOD and SERVIR-HKH, and also because of the long-term partnership between the two SERVIR hubs, the HKH and Mekong hubs. But I'm here today because I consider the success of ICIMOD and SERVIR-HKH today as also an evidence of our success for the scaling and replicating of the other RLCMS system that we had for the Lower Mekong region. You have heard from David Saah, you have heard from Dan, you have heard from Irwin that this is really a global effort from SERVIR side. And for that, I'm very thankful for the long-term engagement with SERVIR-HKH, of course, with continuous support from USAID and NASA. Between the HKH and the Mekong SERVIR hubs, we began our cooperation back in 2015, and the RLCMS was one of the first tools that we worked together. Since then, there were a number of workshops, number of training sessions, technical meetings, and consultation visits to stakeholders in Myanmar in particular, because Myanmar was identified by the two hubs as a place, as a common place where we work together to demonstrate use cases of the RLCMS for national greenhouse gas reporting there. Unfortunately, we could not continue the work in Myanmar, but we had, I think, already developed the working relationship and demonstrated success on how we can work together. We had great success in Myanmar and in other countries because we work as a team of two SERVIR hubs. This would not have happened without the great team spirit, the passion that our both teams have, the technical support from partners, and the partners that I want to include not only the experts from Asia, but many of us from the US as well. So this has been a real global effort to really launch this RLCMS to take us to this point. But importantly, I want to say that this success is owed to the leadership of Birendra Ji, the Chief of Party of SERVIR-HKH, as well as Basanta Ji, the Director of Strategy Cooperation of ICIMOD, and the other leaderships within ICIMOD. So thank you for the partnership and as well as a friendship that you have given to us all along. So to this end, I just want to congratulate ICIMOD and SERVIR-HKH for the success once again. We are very proud to have been working with you, and we wish to continue this for years to come. Thank you so much. Back to you, Utsav.
Thank you, Dr. Pradhan, for your remarks, and then connecting the Mekong and HKH experience. Now we'll move over to the Q&A section. So we have Mir A, team leader for Geospatial Solutions, as well as Science and Data lead for SERVIR-HKH, who will take us through the Q&A section. We already have a very active chat window, as in there are a couple of questions coming in, as well as people have been answering to the queries. There's been a lot of comments coming in. This is very encouraging indeed.
Thank you, everyone. And thanks all the participants and also guests for this, I think, very significant and milestone for our hub, to launching these regional land cover maps. And this is now available for public use, and we will expect that we can also get feedback from our user. At the same time, few things I would like to clear at the beginning. There are a few questions raised in the chat. One thing is like the regional land cover map, the boundary of the region, how we choose that. So this is called Hindu Kush Himalaya region, is ICIMOD on scope of work that ICIMOD as an organization work in this region. The boundary is generated by mainly the mountain region of these 8 countries that we work from Afghanistan to Myanmar. So that's how we use. But as also Kabir has mentioned that in addition to this regional map or regional data, where we mainly focused on mainly few classes, which might be useful for agencies and researchers who are more interested in regional analysis. So we used classes that are mainly IPCC classes. So in addition to when we work that with the national agencies for national land cover map, it was more rigorous and then based on national agencies requirement, like in Bangladesh, in Nepal, and in Afghanistan and Myanmar, as you heard. And each of the countries, when we work for land cover, we went and worked with the respective partner with that agencies, and then identify what classes are relevant for that particular country, and then work together, because for each land cover mapping, and then if we add a new class, it needs a lot of new data generated for validation and classification. So that's why that part we work together with the specific country and then country needs. So this regional one is kind of a generalization of the whole region for regional analysis. Another question I would like to also add, why we use Landsat, why not Sentinel or why not Planet? So this question can always come. David Saw at the beginning, I think, answered a few things, but I would like to also clear that Kabir has mentioned in his presentation that we wanted a consistent land cover map for a longer time period as much as possible. At this point, we use from 2000 to 2019, and we are looking ahead to continue that over time. And so that's and then as much higher resolution as we can go. So considering all of those, we found that Landsat is the only satellite data that gives us those trade-off between resolution and then time horizon, and then also details as much as possible that we can get. So that's how we ended up selecting Landsat. We are currently also working to have a further enhanced land cover from 2015 onward using Sentinel. So that is a separate project going on within our team to build on within the similar methodology, but then that will be available maybe from 2015 onward. So that's how this current RLCMS ended up to use Landsat data from 2000 and then use this process. Another thing, as David Saw mentioned, that if we want to have a partner who are interested to build more rigorous land cover for a particular area of interest, the whole system is modular, and then all the codes are based on Google Earth Engine, which can be easily customized for a new area and also new set of classes. So that we can also work, and that's how actually we are working with Bangladesh Forest Department, Nepal FRTC, and Afghanistan. We worked last time with the Ministry of Agriculture and also National Statistical Information Authority, and also in Myanmar Forest Department. So that's how we work. The concept is same, the coding process is same, but then it can be very easily modular and then enhanced to address different needs. With this, what I would like to invite people who have been raising hands. I don't see hand raised. Okay, I saw one. So when I call you, please first give your name and the organization that you are belonging, and then put your questions. So I'll invite Mr. Engineer SM Ataur Rahman. Please raise your question. Thank you. Mr. Ataur Rahman, you can put your question.
We can identify particular country, land area map, one thing. And second question is, we can find wetland area by finding increasing wetland in the upper region, India. We can assess how much water can be come to our land within a few days. We can assess, indirect assess, how much flood we have to face in the near future days. Can you utilize this Landsat image program?
Yes, and so at this moment, as you said that for whatever data we have is the boundary we have shown. You have to see within that boundary whatever data you would like. And you can draw a polygon, as Sajana has shown, that is your area of interest, and then see different classes. And wetland is one of the class in that land cover, so you can definitely see how much wetland in that particular area of interest. If you are interested in a particular country, as I said, that we are working with individual country organization for country level land cover map, and then you have to work with them. Like for Bangladesh, you have to we are supporting and working together with Bangladesh Forest Department. So then for Bangladesh country level data, you have to reach out to them. That's how we are working. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next, I see Mr. Hassan. Please give your which organization you belong. Mention that. That would be also useful for us to maybe reach out to you if we to next. Mr. Hassan, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. Give me the opportunity. It's a wonderful system you have launched. I must congratulate ICIMOD and the partners. This is Hassan, Ahmed Al Hassan from Bangladesh. I'm working as a technical advisor from Red Cross Red Crescent Climate Center based in Bangladesh. I'm working for forecast-based financing. So one of the interests
You have been broken.
Information is possible that include a heat trigger for heat balance effects.
Sorry, I didn't hear the question. Utsav, did you hear?
There seems to be a problem with Mr. Hassan's internet
It's a heat
connection.
island.
Maybe.
May I? You cannot. I can hear you. I can hear you, but
now we are hearing.
Okay. Okay. Dr. Mateen, my question was: is it possible you can include also the heat island effects for the cities, because city is growing and urbanizations, you show the land use, which is related to the land use. That will be very useful for us for Bangladesh and climate change applications in Bangladesh, especially the forecast-based financing. We are working for Red Cross Red Crescent. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for this suggestion. I will take it as a suggestion for future work because at this moment in the land cover map, this is not one of the classes, but I will keep it as a suggestion. Thank you for your suggestion. Next, Mr. Ghiasuddin Chowdhury.
Thank you, Mir Abdul Momen, giving me the floor. Thank you very much. And I'm very happy to attending this very important event. And presently, I am Ghiasuddin Chowdhury. Presently, I am working as a deputy team leader in support to implementation of Bangladesh Delta Plan. And we have already prepared Bangladesh Delta Plan. Now, in this phase, we are trying to prepare investment programs for whole of Bangladesh and also for Chittagong CST. So it's very good effort that you are doing these things. And I am also very happy to attend this workshop with the ICIMOD colleagues. Some of them I know very well. So greetings from Bangladesh to all my colleagues that I work with them. Now my one question is whether you have prepared this water sources map. That means how can I identify the sources of water, especially also say springs in Chittagong, Chittagong hill tracts, because that will be important for us, because now we find that water crisis is coming there, and that will be most important. So do you have any, maybe you have given this in your presentation, but I missed it. I'm actually particularly interested in that aspect. Also other land cover aspects, but water sources will be of primarily interesting for me. So, and if it is available, then how I can get this as a to use it in my project area? And you know, previously your other maps also have especially of the cyclone, that last year or that year before, we have used that extensively for our purpose. So thank you, Abdul Motin.
Thank you for your suggestion. So this land cover is mainly based on remote sensing data, and it does not have a spring as a class, because with the Landsat data it is hard to actually map spring. But we, for your information, maybe we have Zaheer Uddin from Bangladesh Forest Department here. We are collaborating with them for more detailed land cover map for Bangladesh, and which actually we are almost at the end of finalizing 2019 map, which will be somewhat next year maybe finalized. Thank you. So there is a question here. We see that why Hindu Kush Himalaya only not the Karakoram. I guess Karakoram is part of our HKH region, so that I guess that is included in the study area. I have one question on the validation. I think Kabir has given some information about the validation. So we have used randomly selected 7,000 data point across the region, and also collected through our partner in individual countries, and those data were used for validating this land cover map for regional. But when it comes to national map, it has much more rigorous validation with much more data at national level. So so for regional, we use a randomly selected 7,000. Kabir, if you can confirm, 7 or 10,000 data point across the region for validation. Thank you. Another question, I see snow and glacier. The glacier area is the size of the ICIMOD has a separate program under our Cryosphere initiative to map the glacier and snow, where we have a more specialized method for glacier mapping. So in this land cover map, we did not use that glacier mapping as an automated process on an annual basis, but that's why we lump the glacier and snow as a single land cover in this particular map. Thank you. There is a question about resolution of the image. Can Mr. Thai Nuang Leon, can you clarify your question? I actually don't understand. Mr. Thai Nuang Lin, I see your chat. Can you explain? Can you come in and put your question? Do we see any other hand? So, yeah, Professor Biplab Vishwas, you can come in with your question, please.
Okay, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak. So great congratulations, big congratulations to the entire team for this gigantic task. I have a question, I see it's very happy to see that the forest cover has not changed much during this long study period. But I can see that built-up area is increasing. So how these two things, I mean, where the land is coming for the built-up area, which sector of land use is losing its land for built-up area? That is maybe one of the question. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. So in the forest cover, there are a few things. So when you see aggregated forest cover, we see very less change. But when you see, especially in some area, forests are reducing, in some area, forests are enhancing also in Nepal in some region. So that's one effect we see in the forest cover. Another thing, when we built up area as a percentage of the total area is very small. So when you see the graph, it seems it is increasing, but that increase is not that much if you see the absolute value. So that's why it's whatever in different other big classes, we see some changes and which covers that increase in the built up area. So so there is a so that built up area, when you say in the Kathmandu region, so you can see the built up area increasing. So that mainly maybe encroaching the agriculture area. So that kind of changes happens in built up area. So mainly in the forested area, there is not much changes in built up area as well. Okay, so next, Mr. Thay Nguyen Lin.
Hi, this is Divya Sharma. I work with the SDC office in India. And first of all, let me congratulate the entire team on this work. My question actually relates to a topic where SDC in India is perhaps keen on working in the coming years, and which is the topic related to shifting cultivation. And one of the aspects which we have heard is one of the big limitations in this topic is the actual mapping of the changes in the landscape to study the changes which are happening, and because the parcel sizes are relatively very small. So I was just wondering if this is something that you have also taken into account when you have it's a land use that you have considered when you have done this mapping exercise, and if yes, what has been the experience? Thank you.
Thank you. At this current version of this land cover, we didn't have a shifting cultivation as a one of the class. But in our next phase of Surveyor, we are working with the University of Maryland to have a special focus on agriculture in this region, and then where the shifting cultivation would be one of the focus.
Okay. Sorry. Thank you, Dr. Babur Khan, for your valuable comments. I was telling the grassland, one of the dominating land cover in the Hindu Kush Himalaya. And beside the conversion of that, grassland has a huge conversion with the snow area. So sometimes snow area more, and those are the conversion are there. And also some level of grassland came to the cropland to grassland, grassland to cropland are conversion are happening. Hindu Kush Himalaya. Also cropland to build up area conversion are happening. Some area like managed forest, where is the managed forest very much. So those are the area also due to the rotation of the plantation, some conversion are there, but those are the very much managed area. And due to the also, I was showing one photo. I don't know, you could even sometime we could see some barren area converted to the forest area. Barren mean river bed where is hardly was not any vegetation, but those area converted to the forested land. That is maybe we'll say how possible to say some barren area, but those are also when they are keeping the long term those area without use. And plant succession also taken place. So these are the conversion are taken place as we are at the office. So I think we can show you more details. How is the more changes are there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kabir. And is there anyone? I don't see any more hand. So any more hand also? I don't see any more questions in the chat. So with this, what I would like to also invite everyone to, so this is the first version that we launched, and this is a partnership, results of partnership between ICIMOD, SERVIR-HKH, SERVIR-HKH, specifically. But I think as many people use the data set, there will be feedback, and that will also help us to improve the accuracy and quality of the data for next version of this data. So this collective work will go on. Maybe we can also try for new classes, like we get some suggestions from the audience that we can also take into consideration. As I mentioned that our current surveyor phase, we are working on at least 2 land cover a little bit more rigorously. One of them is agriculture land use, that we have a specific team on crop mapping and agriculture mapping. Other than that, we have also a specific focus on urban land use change and also wetland dynamics. So those are the things that our team is currently working, but we are also happy to provide all these methodology codes, share with our partners, whoever interested, if they want to apply this methodology to develop a land cover map for a specific area of interest. That kind of capacity development and also sharing of not only the data as we said that is shared through our RDS, but we can also share the code and then methodology and then technology and knowledge to our partner in the region. And they can also develop this methodology, as I told at the beginning, is very flexible and modularized. Depending on the availability of ground data, the system can be enhanced to add more classes, because if we want to add any extra class for HKH region, it would require a huge amount of data. But if you are focused on a particular small region, you can use the same methodology if you have access to more ground data you can collect. You can also apply the same methodology for developing a more detailed land cover map. And also you can apply it for even Landsat, as well as you can also use it for Sentinel. So with this, I would again congratulate our team.
Two small, I address those. I'll take a minute.
Okay.
There was some question about minimum mapping unit. So we use the AFUT standard, what they are mostly following, 0.5 hectare. But you may have seen some small pixel are coming. I think those are the minimum 6 pixel are actually appearing, but we'll look very much closely, because there could not be any less than 0.1 hectare area being mapped. So that is the area. And beside the some percent, you may think one classes is representing is a 1%, because it's Hindu Kush Himalaya, very large area. So when other class is mostly dominating, then one class could be very 1%, 2%. Suppose one of the area you could see the less than 1% in build-up, because of other class are mostly dominating. I think this is my quick response to few of comments. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Kabir. And yeah, so with this, I would like to end this launching event here and invite everyone to download the data, use it, and then also send us feedback how we can improve if there is any inconsistency in anywhere. And we are looking forward to work with all of you together in future. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. So I have a slide up now. So basically, if there's any feedback related to RLCMS or SERVIR-HKH in general, please write to us at servir-hkh@icimod.org. We'd get back to you at the soonest possible. You can also follow us on our social media channels on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. We hope to make a recording of this launch event available to people who've registered. If there's any further questions, you can always write to us at servir-hkh@icimod.org. Thank you for taking the time to join us in our launch event. Thank you, everyone. So we will call this meeting to an end. Thank you, everyone.